Today's movie is Ambulance, the latest masterpiece from director Michael Bay the Great and Powerful. I have mixed feelings on Michael Bay. For me, his movies are either terrible or greatly mediocre. I haven't seen all of them, but they tend to annoy me with their juvenile sense of humor and give me a headache with their loud, incoherent, shaky cam-heavy action scenes. They are also almost all nearly 3 hours long for no reason at all. But I'm willing to keep an open mind. As a wise man once said, sometimes you have to look at all the junk and see the treasure. In Ambulance, a family man named Will has no money. He needs some money so that his wife can have an expensive surgery. He goes to his brother named Jake Gyllenhaal and asks if he can have some money. A few minutes later, they rob a bank and are forced to make their getaway in an ambulance with a lady EMT and a wounded police officer in the back. The cops chase after them because robbing a bank is illegal and they want to take them to jail. This is a very simple story, comically so sometimes. I wasn't joking when I said Will finds Jake Gyllenhaal and they go on the heist a few minutes later. He's literally gathering his crew together and getting ready to head on out, and they just add him on. After that, it's just a 2-hour car chase, and honestly, this was refreshing. I mean, do we really want to see scenes of characters sitting down and having a conversation in a movie made by the guy who created a character named Deep Wang? Really, an entire movie made up of cars driving fast and crashing is just the natural next step in the evolution of Michael Bay's career. The same way making a movie that was just non-stop plot exposition drowned out in foghorn sounds was the next step for Christopher Nolan's career. It's like a final form of sorts. There is nowhere for these men to go now. Here's the deal, kids. I have no room in my heart to hate Michael Bay's Ambulance. It's just a good old-fashioned stripped-down, no-frills action movie made with competence. It's not a great movie. It's full of all the expected cliches of the genre. It's definitely inferior to similar films like Speed or Unstoppable. And while Bay has gotten much better at filming action over the years, he's still overly reliant on shaky cam and quick cuts. But kids, at the end of the day, when the rubber meets the road, when push comes to shove, when it's all said and done, in the fullness of time, it was so good to see some actual stunts and explosions in a movie again. I watched that ambulance fly down the streets of Los Angeles and crash into things, and it didn't look like a cartoon. There were a lot of moments that were genuinely suspenseful, from the initial heist to a ridiculous but very entertaining surgery scene in the back of the ambulance. The cast was very good and not annoying. Jake Gyllenhaal gives a fun, over-the-top performance that makes his character intimidating and sometimes actually sympathetic. And Yahya Abdul-Mateen brought a lot of heart to the story and made you root for Will despite his dumb criminal decisions. Overall, kids, Ambulance is one of those they don't make them like they used to action movies. It's a crowd pleaser and a good time. It probably says a lot about the horrible state of blockbuster filmmaking right now when Michael Bay being Michael Bay comes off as refreshing. Oh well, in a world of Matrix Resurrections, I'll take all the ambulances I can get. 7 out of 10.